All right, what I want to look at now is something called ranking, and it's, in my eyes, it's almost a alternative to sorting your data, as you'll see here. So without further ado, I'm going to click onto my data here, go back to Insert, go to my pivot table, hit OK. There I am. Now I'm going to bring in the company name here, company field. There's all my companies. And I want to bring in then the revenue. So go down here and find my revenue, which is the total sale. Drag that in just like that. All right, not bad. Now, if I wanted to know the top company, whoever the top company is, as far as sales go, and have that as the top company in the list here, and the lowest number would be at the very bottom. I could do that simply by just going in here, and I could click on the data, click on my A to Z. All right, that'd be one way of doing it, but I could do something like that, or in this case I would do Z to A because I want the top number up at the top there. So I could do that, and that'd be great. But now all my companies are out of alphabetical order. It's gonna be a little bit harder to find the company maybe that I'm looking for, especially if I got a really, really long list. Now I'm just going to go back and hit undo and undo that. So instead, I want to bring in what is called ranking. Okay, and I want to, now I've got about 90 companies here. All right, I want to see next to each of these numbers what place 1 through 90 each of these companies are based on their total sale here. Okay, so what we do is we bring in total sale for a second time. Just like that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a double click on some of T-Sale 2 here. Then I'm going to go over here to show values as, hit my no calculation, and then scroll down here, and eventually you'll see rank, and it's got rank largest to smallest. Now that means that the one that will come in as number 1 will be the highest number, and the lowest number will be, let's say, number 90. So I click onto that, and then it says, what is the base field? Well, the base field is whatever this here is, right? It's already got it set for company. You might want to watch that because it might, flip to something else for some reason, and it's not going to come out very well. But it's set up just fine here. So we just go ahead and hit OK, and there we go. And that's it. So you can see that Bacchus is number 90, all right, meaning it's the lowest on the totem pole there. And we have then number 1 being Save a Lot Markets. And you can see that's a pretty big number there. So that worked out pretty good. Now, the other thing is, well, let's also do this. Let's go ahead and format this. So we'll do a double click on here, all right? Go to our number format, go to number, and we'll go with, no decimal places, right? Comma separator. Hit OK. And there we go. That's not too bad. We could also maybe call this one revenue. And the other one will be what is called rank. All right. Now, keep in mind, as we've talked about before, these numbers represent 4, 5, 6 years worth of numbers, right? So let's break this down by year. So how are we going to do that? Well, we'll go over here and we'll find our order date. We're going to drag it. Now, if I drag it underneath values, now that values is in there because we've got 2 or more things going on in the revenues, or in the summary area where you see the revenue down here and the rank. That's what's happening there. So that when you have 2 or more of those, this one comes up. Now, if I put it underneath it, I get that. I don't want to see revenue, rank, That means nothing to me. So I'm going to take the values one here, and I'm just going to drag that underneath years. Oop. Let's do this. I'm going to get myself a little bit more room here so I can see what I've got here. Okay, so in this case, that's all underneath there, which is fine. Now, the problem is I don't need all of this, all right? I don't need to see all the other stuff in there. I don't need quarters. I don't need months or anything like that. Now, I'm not going to, from our very beginning videos, you do not want to pull them off from here. What we want to do instead is just click on one of the dates, or one of the years in this case, go back over into the Analyze, go to our group field, all right, and get rid of months and quarters, just like that. Hit OK. Perfect. There it is. And then let's try this again now. Let's go ahead and drag the values underneath the order date, all right? And there we go. Now that's looking good. So now we can actually see year over year over year how alphas went from number 68 to 48 to 58 to 75 to 80. Not too much of a good track record for alphas there, but some of the other ones have them. You'll see here we've got nothing because for some reason Bacchus wine cellars, we sold nothing to them in 2023. All right, but still looks good there. And then I could take this, I could click anywhere on it, go to my design, go over to my styles here, and find something that might look good. Maybe I'll go with maybe a dark blue here. That's not bad. And then what I'll also do is maybe enhance a little bit with some banded rows, and maybe because I've got columnar type data as well, I'll take that out. Now the other little thing, and I haven't really talked about this too much, is at the very end, if you really don't care what the total, you know, the grand total of all the years add up to being, I mean, it's a good thing to have, but if you say, well, I don't really need it, what you could do is you can go over here to grand, this will be in the design tab. If you go to grand totals, you can tell it that you want to see the totals just for the columns. In other words, on columns only. That's at the very bottom instead of for the rows, which is over here. So I go for columns, it gets rid of that. And then I can go back, and there we go. So that's a pretty good listing there, pretty nice. And I can go back in as well, click anywhere on it, go to my design, right? I'm sorry, not design. Go to my Analyze here, go to my pivot table, go to my options, right? And do the merge and center, and that'll kind of get everything all kind of cozy there and get everything the width that it needs to be for the columns and so forth. Now another angle we can look at is we've been doing the companies here. Another good one to maybe rank would be the product that we sell, right? Now what we'll do here is I want to still keep this, but I want to have, use this as a template for another one to save some time here. Now, in the past, what I've been doing with all of you, I've been just making a copy of this and putting the copy over on the side. The other alternative would be to duplicate the sheet, all right? And then on that duplication, then we can go ahead and do our other thing, right? Do it with the product. So to make a duplicate, there's a couple ways of doing it. I guess one way would be this. You could actually point to the tab here, okay? Hold down your mouse button. You'll see that little white sheet of paper, a little black marker there on the bottom. You see that little marker there? And what you want to do is you want to get that marker somewhere other than where it began. Okay, so let's just say you want to put it there, right? Now, if you just let go, nothing's going to happen. It's like you try to move it nowhere, all right? But if you, before you let go of the mouse button, hold down the control key, you'll see like a little plus show up on that piece of paper. That means you're in the copy mode, see? Then what you can do is just let go of your mouse first, let go of your control key, and now you've got a duplicate. So it's exactly the same thing. I mean, they're independent now, but it's a clone of what you had on this original sheet here. So I can go to here now, click anywhere on here, and I can pull company out, right? And then I can scroll down a little bit, find my common name, which is my product, drop that down into there, and look at that. Now, the only thing that happened here, which we have to do a little troubleshooting here, is all of a sudden we got this NA. And the reason for it is that when we were setting up that ranking, remember it had asked us what that field was on the side there? Well, before, that field was what? That was the company. Now it's the product. So we just have to kind of modify it a little bit. So all we have to do here is just double click on to rank, all right? Go over to here to show values as, and now the base field is no longer company, it's now what? products or common name here. See, so I click on the common name, hit OK, and it's fixed. So that's pretty neat. Okay, now I'm going to kind of just swap out the fields on this one here. I want to bring in now another set of fields for this. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out, that common name out. Everything's going to get all messed up there temporarily. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the life cycle, which will be this field here. Okay. And not a lot of them in here, all right, but still, I can then do a double click on rank because I have to fix that now, right? Go back to show values as, and now this is going to be what? The life cycle, right? There's life cycle, hit OK, and there we go. I mean, it's not hard to do this in your head as far as seeing who came in first place, second place, and third place, but still it's interesting information. Another field that we could rank by would be the rep field. So we could take the life cycle out, find our rep, there's our rep, drag it down there, and again, we double click on the rank, show values as, and now this is going to be the rep, right? Hit OK, and now we've got that fixed up. So that looks pretty good. And then lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the rep, and I'm going to work with two different fields now. I'm going to bring in, first of all, the zone. All right, so we'll go find our zone here. Bring that down. And then I can go ahead and bring in my company. All right, so that'll be the, bring in my company. There we go. Not bad. And now again, what do? I double click. And then over on the side here, I'm sorry, we'll go over here to show values as, and over on the side, what are these? These are the companies, so I'm going to go ahead and find company. Click onto that, hit OK, and there we go. Not bad. Now, if I wanted to add some maybe filtering to this, all I really have to do is just click onto the data here, and then go back over into my list of fields. I'll pull this down so we can see this a little bit better here. And maybe I'd like to see out of this type of data here, the reps. Okay, so if I bring in the rep like that, that brings the rep up there. And I might bring in maybe maybe the life cycle, maybe the color, some fields that I really don't have in here. And then what I can do is say at that point then, all right, out of all this data, I want to see just those for, let's say, Hendrix. So I click on the Hendrix, hit OK. Now that's Hendrix's sales. So you can see the different territories and the different companies that he sells to. I can go back in there and clear that out. And instead, I can say I just want to see of whatever companies I have right now, which is all of them here. Only those that I want to see the sales for just the perennial type plants here, right? So I click on the perennial, hit OK, and there's the perennials. And again, I'm seeing, that information. I'm seeing the ranking in there, all of that. So pretty slick. So hopefully this comes in handy for what you're trying to do, as I've always said. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.